I'm going to talk to you tonight a little bit about what's happening. There's a disturbing trend with the president, and it's crossed a line. And I don't think that we're going to have time to be able to get this out to the American people before the election, because the press is of no help. And I'm going to try my best to explain this all to you, but things are coming out now fast and furious. And, gosh, I shouldn't use that one. They're coming out quickly. And you need to try to listen and get your friends to listen next door, because this isn't about politics. This truly is about the future of the country, because we are in grave, grave danger. We've had presidents in the office before. We've had good presidents. We've had bad presidents. And someday we'll have female presidents and male presidents and black presidents and Asian presidents. But they're all people. And sometimes people are good, sometimes people are bad. But it is for us, the American people, to decide which the good ones are and which the bad ones are, and then correct the errors of our ways ourselves. Since I have been alive, and that I remember on presidents, we've had two major scandals. We've had three. We've had Nixon with Watergate, where he sat at this desk and says, it's important to know if your president is a crook. You have to be able to trust the American president. And we couldn't in the end. And he looked in the camera and he lied. The other one was the Iran-Contra scandal with Reagan. But I happen to believe the president didn't know on that one. Maybe he did. I don't think he did. And then there was the Lewinsky scandal, where he looked again in the eye. I did not have sex with that woman. Now, the first one and the last one, you can say, well, that was just about politics. That was just about sex. The middle one was about hostages. But the truth matters. And nobody wants to think of somebody who sits in this desk. You know what? To heck with this desk. I don't think anybody wants to ever think that anyone that they know could be such a sociopath that they don't care, that they can actually look you in the eye. How many times have you ever had anybody lie to you? And they look at you in the eye and they lie to you, and then you find out they're lying and you're like, that guy looked me in the eye. How does he even do that? Nobody wants to think about that as a friend. And they don't want to think about that as a president, because it carries other implications when it's somebody who sits behind this desk. In the first case and the last case, at least, it was undeniably true that the president broke our trust. He lied, and he looked us in the eye. But in both of those, as the old catchphrase goes, when Clinton lied, no one died. We have a president now who is engaging in that kind of stuff, and you can make the excuse for it, well, it's politics and this kind of stuff happens. No, not like this. But you could also say that nobody's dying on this one. Our president, I think, likes to call people liars, but he is apparently disturbed when others do so. I want to show you the president in the debate. Watch. Okay, we're not getting audio here. But this is when the president is talking to Mitt Romney, and he's saying, Mitt Romney, that's not right. You wanted the company to go bankrupt. And the president interrupts him several times, and then he finally says, look it up. Just look it up. The president does. Look it up. And Mitt Romney says, please do. It's easy to verify. It's very easy to verify. We did look it up. The op-ed that Mitt Romney was talking about was in the New York Times. And here it is. It says exactly what Romney claims he said, not what Barack Obama. Now, you can say at this time, okay, well, he, misremembered. But it was clear that Obama was wrong, and even MSNBC called him out on it. Here's MSNBC on this particular point of the debate.
Let's bring in Lori Robertson, who is the managing editor of factcheck.org. Good morning.
Good morning.
So who was right in that exchange over the auto bailout?
Well, Romney was right. Obama was wrong. Indeed, if you look back at Romney's 2008 op-ed, he argued against the bailout, but he argued for a managed bankruptcy with federal guarantees for post-bankruptcy financing. So a federal loan guarantee for the post-bankruptcy financing would indeed be...
So here's MSNBC verifying that the president was wrong. Now, any normal human being, when caught, if you're in an election, you just like, all right, and you don't mention it ever again. But let's say, for the sake of argument, let's give Obama the benefit of the doubt. He was fed bad information. He misspoke. He was thinking of something else. But then the next day, when everyone verifies that he was wrong, and this is not the first time they verified that he was wrong, he goes on TV, and his campaign advisor should say, Mr. President, you can't go on the campaign trail and say this anymore because you were wrong. Got it? But he goes out instead, this president, onto the campaign trail, hours after all of the fact checkers call him out, after MSNBC calls him out, and he's in Ohio, and he starts to mock and again call Mitt Romney the liar for this very fact. Watch.
If you say that you love American cars during a debate, you're a car guy, but you wrote an article titled, "Let Detroit Go Bankrupt," you definitely have a case of Romnesia. Last night Governor Romney looked you right in the eye, looked me in the eye, tried to pretend that he never said, "Let Detroit go bankrupt."
Okay, stop. Listen to this. The president even knows how important it is to look a man in the eye. Come in. This is an important thing. When a man looks another man in the eye and says, "I'm telling you the truth. This is the truth. Look it up. It's the truth. Look it up yourself. It's the truth." Now, if I said that to you and I was proven by everyone that I was lying to you, you could say, Glenn just made a mistake. He was thinking something else. But then when you know everyone has said it's a lie, and I get on the next day and say, you know what? Look it up. It's the truth. I either have deep psychological problems or I don't even know. I was going to say you're insane, but that's the same, isn't it? There's something wrong. So here's the president saying, Romney, looked us into the eye, looked you into the eye, looked me into the eye. And he knows 100% what he's about to tell them is not true. And he's out there standing with the good people of Ohio, looking them in the eye and lying to them again. I know America does not want to hear that their president is a liar. Their president, they have to know if their president is a crook. They have to know. But this president does not care about telling the truth. He doesn't even express a hint of shame when the press exposes a lie. Now, this is a disturbing trend, but again, let's back up. This is just about politics. This is just about election. They all lie. That's what your friends will say. Lewinsky, it was just about an affair. No one was dying here. Okay? I would counter when you are going for this seal. I mean, personally, you can't lie. I'm a guy who lost my honor. I'm a guy who built my life on a lie. And back in 1995, I had lost everything, and I realized the only thing that truly was mine, the only thing worth value was my word. And only until you've lost everything do you understand how every single lie matters. It does. Don't ever tell anything but the truth. The God's honest truth, so help you God. Because when you're in this office, it matters. It matters because the whole world needs to trust. When the American president says something, when the American people say something, they have to know we can trust it. Now, how can you possibly trust anything that anyone ever says? How can you trust that the president is not going to raise taxes on you if he lied to you to get to the office? When he says, I'm going to cut the deficit in half, and then racks up record deficits or won't rein in out-of-control spending. What good is his word? Especially on issues that really matter. The Romney op-ed claim demonstrates his unrepentant ability to lie, and there's a ton of those that are riddled with this president. But people will tell you that's just about politics. I'm taking a different tone with you tonight because what I'm about to show you is not about politics at all. And you will only know I mean this if you watched me when I was at CNN and I said you can impeach George W. Bush on these things, because these things, there's something very, very wrong on the border. Or when Romney gets into office and I tell you the same kinds of things about Mitt Romney, if he would make these kinds of mistakes. This mistake I've never seen a president make before. But I beg that you, I hope, I pray that you have enough credibility with your friends and your neighbors that you can bring them this information and share with them and show them that this is not about politics. This is about the future of our country on this one. The president has lied about the attack that killed the ambassador and 3 other Americans. And if we can't get him to tell us the simple truth at the very beginning, there is something very wrong. And at the very best, it's just a very deep callousness that I don't think I've ever seen from a sitting president before. This man is putting American lives in danger, and he doesn't seem to care about the consequence of his own action. He doesn't care about the lies that he's telling. Why?